Dave Reed with Sailing World Magazine. We're at Quantum Key West Race Week 2013. That's a mouthful. With Dave Franzel from Boston, Massachusetts, who's down here sailing J70s in the first ever kind of major J70 regatta, and also Dave's first regatta ever in the J70. And he took the top Corinthian spot in the fleet of 38 boats, which was stacked with a lot of variety of people in town, and figuring the boat out, and it did well for you. So what, going into this event, what did you think, having first seen the boat for the first time ever?
Well, I've actually seen the boat before, and I've sailed on one twice, briefly. But I sailed it, first time I sailed it, we put up a chute and started going like 13 knots. And I could not wipe the smile off my face, which is cool, so I bought one. And decided I'd start racing them. And this was the first opportunity. And you know, there's a lot about this boat that's a little bit different. You know, the rig is much tighter than a lot of boats I've sailed before. It took me a while to figure all that out, figure out how the vang works, figure out how the backstay works, figure out how to read a lose gauge, which I've never really used before. And so by the end of the event, we were getting all single-digit finishes. So I'm pretty happy with the Delta.
So you came out of the sonar class, which is definitely obviously much more of a displacement type sailing.
Right.
Have you done much sport boat type sailing?
No, not at all. No, not at all. It's kind of the first sport boat I've ever raced.
There you go. So not a bad start. So what, going from the first kind of light air days into the breezier days, what were some of the things that you learned along the way to get the thing up and playing and keeping it on plane?
Well, I honestly feel like I still have to learn how to sail the boat downwind. I mean, obviously you got to hop up when you can plane and get it on a plane, and not burn down until you're really planing. But I mean, you guys, for example, are way quicker at doing that than I've figured out yet. But I'm looking forward to figuring that out because it's fun.
Like a long winter of learning. You have you plan on doing some other events up the coast?
I'm going to do Miami in March. I'm going to do Charleston in April. I'm going to do Annapolis in May, and then sail in Marblehead for the summer.
Sounds like a good spring series.
Yeah, it's a fun boat. I mean, I've sailed J24. I still sail J24s a lot. We frostbite them in Boston, and it's a blast. But I mean, this is a whole other kind of boat, and it's really cool.
So, what do you think was launched this class so quickly?
I mean, I think Johnstone's hit it right on. I mean, it's exciting. It's new, but it's. I mean, I did some Viper sailing, and a Viper's a squirrely boat, and you know, in a big breeze, they're wiping out all the time. This boat, not so much. I mean, this is a pretty easy boat to sail and still go. And we hit 16.7 knots on the second day. That's very exciting, and it was under control the whole time.
So what's on your work list, to-do list, and to learn coming up through the next couple of events? What's the priority?
Well, I mean, so this was mostly a kind of windy regatta. I mean, the first day was light-ish, and then after that, it was pretty much 15 knots plus or minus the whole time. And so I feel like we got pretty good wheels upwind now in those conditions. I need to learn to sail it in light air, and I need to learn to sail downwind a little bit better, a little more effective, learn the transitions between when you can plane and when you can't plane. And so yeah, I mean, I got a lot of, and then, you know, more fine tuning, which comes with experience. So that's on my agenda.
And to sum it up, what was the maybe the most important thing, biggest adjustment you made midweek to kind of turn your standings around?
Well, I think I came over to your boat and measured your shroud tension, and then I said, well, it's this, and Tim said, no, it's not that. You got to look at the arrow. So learning how to use a lose gauge was the most important thing. The second most important thing was learning how the backstay works on these boats, because it's different than on other boats. You can actually, there's a course control, and if you tighten that, then you've got a full range. And if you don't tighten that, you don't. So those are the two most important things that I learned this week.
There you go. All right, well, top Corinthian for the J70 first ever big regatta, and we'll see him all winter long. So thank you very much, Dave, and good luck for the winter. Yeah,
thanks.